good friend of ours, Dan Moff, and Mario Baccara.
Yes. And I mean, 3 stand-up guys right there.
I can't even imagine getting in the ring with Dan Moff.
I'll tell you what, Chris Wylde's got to worry about Vicky at ringside. Because wherever Nikos goes, Vicky's right there in his corner.
Well, we saw earlier that she's very resourceful. What is Nikos doing right now? Is he stalling?
Well, he's telling the crowd here who he is. Looks like he's in the face of a young fan at ringside. Nikos Rikos a few years ago also was on NXT. I forget who his opponent was at the time, but Nikos Rikos has been around.
I mean, I know he's made appearances for NXT, certainly Impact Wrestling, Global Force Wrestling. I mean, he's been around for quite a while. Also known for his stints with WrestlePro and PWS. So Nikos Rikos is well-traveled. Just because he's new to the ECWA doesn't necessarily mean that he hasn't had his experiences in the wrestling business. I think it's going to be really interesting tonight as we play Wylde trying to take him down with an armbar.
I'd also mention that this is a ECWA Mid-Atlantic title tournament match. The title broken into pieces, as we saw in the Facebook Live video a while back by Joey Ace. Joey 2 belts known in the PCA. Last month here, Chris Wylde took on the debuting Violence. Violence will be here tonight in another tournament matchup against bringing back Tahir James, former ECWA Tag Team Champion.
Well, lots of exciting things going on tonight. Plus, the return tag team title match with Unstable facing Delaware's Finest.
At this time, Brady, bat down the hatches. It's a Texas Tornado style.
I can't even imagine. Who's going to enforce that? Not John Finnegan.
There better be 2 referees out here for now.
We might need everybody.
I'll tell you what, they were battling all over the place last month.
Speaking of battling all over the place, Chris Wylde going to force Nikos into the corner. I think Wylde feeling a little disrespected by the fact that Nikos Rikos can come in here and act like he's the veteran in this match when in fact it's Chris Wylde.
Nikos Rikos now hammering down on Chris Wylde, got him inside headlock.
What was it you saw about Rikos when you brought him in for the academy?
You know, it was his athletic ability, it was the style, it was his mannerisms. I saw a video footage of him on YouTube, and I said, you know what, here's a guy that I want the company to take a look at. So I messaged him. He was so excited. Frankie McCart, tag team champion at the time, and an unbelievable match at the academy that people were raving about. And that's why I kept hitting up the boss of Joe Zanoli. I said, this guy needs to be on the main roster, needs to be on the main show. So
beautiful flying arm drags.
So good to see Nikos Rikos here. And again, Nikos Rikos outside the door as referee John Finnegan starts to count.
Hey, buddy.
Me and Joe are just going to come out together.
Oh,
it's
okay.
a tag match. We have a tag match.
Okay.
Now Chris Wylde about to do a dive. Nikos pulls Vicky in front of him, then pulls the feet out from under.
But that's the diversion you were talking about. Chris Wylde's going to have to stay on top of everything here. Beautiful knife edge chop, by the way, by the former champion Chris Wylde. And I had the opportunity, Phil, to interview Chris for my podcast, which is syndicated not just on the VOC Nation Radio Network, but on ECWAProWrestling.com as well. And Chris Wylde had a lot of interesting things to say, you know, not just about Nikos, but about the legacy of the ECWA, about what it's meant to him as a competitor.
And look at this now, Brady hates to cut you off with Vicky now jumping up to the ring apron.
What the?
Distracting Chris Wylde here. Referee John Finnegan's got his hands full. He needs to tell Vicky to stay in the corner.
Well, what is Rikos doing now? I think he's into that turnbuckle.
Face first right into the buckle.
He might have even hit the post there. I mean, he went flying over the buckle.
Could have easily ruptured his sternum there. Because Rikos putting the boots to Chris Wylde. You know, Brady, I have yet to listen to that podcast that you just mentioned with Chris Wylde, but I heard the views are still down.
I think he just broke his fingers. Nikos Rikos showing an aggressiveness we've not seen in a long time from a newcomer.
That's what we're talking about. Vicky now behind referee John Finnegan's back, choking Chris Wylde over the second rope.
Nikos will do anything to win this match, and I do mean anything. And let's not forget Chris Wylde spent the better part of 2 years ago on the shelf, a major injury.
Yeah, that happened down at the Showboat, Atlantic City.
He mentioned on the podcast that he wasn't even ready when he did come back. Beautiful lariat, and I think Wylde is out cold. Certainly wouldn't have faulted him if he didn't kick out there.
Nikos now working off the ground. Small the back goes the knee.
Rikos trying to cut off the air supply, and let's not forget, Chris Wylde is an asthmatic. So, like, every breath you take, every step you take, not only will Nikos be watching you, but Chris Wylde might be struggling to breathe. It's so important. Went for the crossbody, and Rikos, the veteran, got his knees up, going up with the leg, and I think thought that was going to do it right there.
That was a beautiful counter by Nikos Rikos there. The last second pull, his knees up in that crossbody block. Chris Wylde could be seriously injured here.
Rikos has not stopped taking the fight to the Cinderella man, and you got to wonder if the clock is about to strike 12 on this.
Nikos now
just toying with the former ECWA heavyweight champion.
Kind of face washing as he's holding his wrist.
I don't remember him being this aggressive when I saw it before. Look at this, Wylde trying valiantly to fight back, got a whip of reversal, goes through the clothesline, catches him in the midsection. There's Chris Wylde. He's like a Mortal Kombat fighter, just a street fighter, just doing everything he's got.
Hey, what, that just could have took something out of Chris Wylde there. He headbutted Nikos to the chest.
Well, he doesn't know.
Both men collide.
I think Rikos may have hurt his hand there. Look, he's trying to get the feeling back into the fingers. Wonder if he injured his neck in some way.
You never know. Like I said earlier, man, Chris Wylde could have hurt his sternum there. Even the small of his back by Nikos being so aggressive. And right now, both men struggling to get to their feet. But it's Nikos who gets there first, but Wylde's throwing shots back.
We are hand in hand right now, just battling in the middle of the ring. I gotta admit, I never expected Nikos Rikos to be taking the fight to Chris Wylde like this. Sweeps the leg with a DDT. And a hook of the leg, middle of the ring, but Rikos kicks out at 2. The Spartan Pitbull showing a tenacity that I don't think we usually are used to seeing from newcomers.
Wylde now going to the top rope.
Kind of reminds me of Joey Ace when he came in. With the jumping gutbuster, but only a 2 count.
Done by Nikos Rikos. How did Chris Wylde kick at him?
Can Rikos and Vicky go 2 for 2 here tonight on the way out of Delaware? We already saw one upset tonight.
That would be a hell of a debut to start off with.
Wylde trying to force him into a crossface. Now Nikos Rikos, all that pressure on the lower back.
Inside, beside herself.
He's just out of reach of the ropes though, and he's got to get there to make the break. She's trying to push it forward. Oh!
50
Into the saddle.
Wait a minute, Brady. It's violence. What's he doing?
Wait a minute.
Violence had that chain.
He did that to Chris Wylde last month. Clocked him in the back of the head. Nikos Rikos is on top. Rikos!
Didn't see it.
That's going to do it.
Unbelievable.